Greetings. We are in the lab. We are in the lab once again. Ron, tell that we are live. We are live in the lab. We said to everyone, share, share, share. We tell you that throughout the show. Share, share, share. And we have a special guest. Again, all our guests on Ron Tell That always special. She is a producer for Ron Tell That. And she is also engaged in an art form that we'll be talking about tonight, Ron Tell That. And what some of y'all know. And so I need to do something right now. I need to do something. Bear with me for a second. Bear with me for a second. Oh, wait. Hold on for a second. Let me do it like this. Let me do it like this. Oh, wait. Trying to get the best angle. Bear with me, please. Bear with me, please. I had discovered that there's going to be a new show that's coming on the Our Black Media Network. And that show is going to come on Wednesdays at 6 o'clock. I found that out. Wednesday at 6 o'clock. Some of y'all say, wait a minute, that's supposed to be Run Tell That. I found out on the streets of Savannah yesterday that Julius Hall and Giovanna Rogers, who's our guest tonight, they have not plotted to remove Run Tell That from off of Wednesday. As I said, we're the little brother show of all the ATR shows. So now guess what? They now plotted to get Run Tell That out of the mix and say you will come on whenever they feel like I can come on. Yes, we got Giovanna Rogers in the house. So yeah, I let everybody know that's what's going on. Run Tell That.
I would like to make clear.
Hey, Giovanna Rogers, how are you?
I would like to make clarification and say that it is not happening at 6 o'clock.
Oh.
We did not know. Well, I forgot that it started at 6, but we will be showing at 6, not at 6 o'clock, on Wednesdays at an available time coming to you soon.
Well, just to let y'all know, I guess they renegotiated, so that's what happened. I guess they renegotiated, so that's why now they let Run Tell That stay on. They have shown some kindness to Run Tell That. Again, Jamal Toure, host of Run Tell That, and we got Giovanna Rogers, a producer with Our Black Media. And Giovanna Rogers, who are you?
I am an artist. I am a performer. I am someone who loves my community and in the future hopes to bring film, musicals, plays, anything for Black people, Black little girls, Black little boys, anyone, any person of color to see in the future, see themselves in a better way and using the forum to get the word out on our community and who we are.
And thank you. And Reverend Betty Jones, glad to have you here with us on Run Tell That. Always glad to have your support. And so, but it almost came a point that you might not be seeing Run Tell That anymore based on Giovanna Rogers and Julius Hall. They had a plan. They had a dastardly plan. But I found out in the streets of downtown Savannah, actually by the Eastern Wharf, I found out about it. So Giovanna Rogers, who are your people?
My people are from Decatur, born and raised in Columbus. We are a mixture, a gumbo of creativity, of art. I come from a people of singers on my dad's side who perform, sing together, love together. I come from a people who love God. I come from a people who are true to themselves and who they are.
All right. So who inspires you or what inspires you?
I would say most of all, Black people inspire me. One person who I can think of that inspires me the most is my high school theater teacher, Brittany Lee now, excuse me. She was the reason why I continued to do theater, and she helped me find myself in a way that I wasn't able to before. And I'm really grateful for her because she gave me chances that I don't think anyone else, if they had that position that they had, would give. So I'm definitely grateful for her. She's definitely my inspiration, and I think about her every day.
All right, good. So, Reverend Betty Jones, thank you for the comment. When you went and said that you'll be upset with them if you take off Ron Tell that. So again, that's why, that's why, that's why Julius Hall and Javon Rogers had to go and renegotiate when they're gonna do the show, but they were gonna put me on off, and I wasn't even gonna. I was gonna show up for
Now,
the show and then be off. But then guess what? Now y'all understand there are people at our black media who want to see Ron Tell that, and so Javon Rogers, don't worry about what I just said. Just
I
go.
don't. I think that this is an exaggeration on your end.
What?
Yes, yes, you.
What?
It's an exaggeration.
What?
No one was ever trying to kick you off.
What?
Yes.
You say what is lying? What?
See, we yes.
Yes, we Julius Hall, Giovanna, we. And again, what happened? Rev. Betty Jones said that this platform should have more time. Should have more time. All right, all right. So that's what that we talk about, the rabble and all of that. So yes, indeed, yes, indeed. So Giovanna Rogers, now since you have now gotten an earful, so with regards to that earful, what songs inspire you? What songs give you that that when you hear it, it's just like okay, because it could be a song or a song like zippity doo dah, zippity day, my oh my, what a wonderful day. A song that you sung when you were in plays and then also in college now. So go ahead. Giovanna Rogers is a fan of zippity doo dah songs of the South. So again, Giovanna Rogers, go right ahead.
I think that this is also an exaggeration coming from you with that last statement. I'm gonna do one normal song and then one musical theater song. So one artist that inspires me the most when it comes to just being a creator overall is Nina Simone. And she sings "Stars Flying High," you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, yeah. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. And I'm feeling good. Because sometimes you got to feel good, especially with being in the industry, you got to feel good. You got to feel good about yourself. You got to feel good about the creations that you create, whether it's music, whether it's dance. You got to feel good about yourself when it comes to being a creator, because if you don't feel good about you, then
Okay.
who do you expect to feel that way about you as well?
That's it. That's right.
So, yeah. And then a musical theater song that always speaks to my heart is from The Color Purple. What About Love? So it's like, what about tears when I'm happy? What about wings when I fall? I want you to be a story for me that I can believe in forever. And what about love? And it's that love that you have with each other. And I think the most beautiful thing for me about Black people in our community is that it's love that keeps us going and that drives us. And when we push each other to do our best and continue to be ourselves without any regrets, without any worries, then better will come. And that love is what keeps us going. So yeah, those are my favorite songs.
Powerful, powerful. Again, yes. And Bernard White and Ellis, you can come on. That I put my number in, hit me up, text me, and then we can have a conversation about what you want to do. And Bernard White, gonna come just to hear you sing. And so now I let y'all know this. Those of you who are in Chatham County this weekend, if you're in Chatham County this weekend on Saturday, from 10 to 3 p.m., what will happen is that there will be the first ever Black History program in
Mhm.
Port Wentworth, in back of the City Hall, right there on Highway 21. The first ever Black History Month program will be done, held from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. I'll be the MC, and drum roll, somebody will be singing there. And she's going to start out with Lift Every Voice and Sing. And that is Giovanna Rogers. Giovanna Rogers. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. I'm excited. I'm definitely excited. I believe Black History Month should be supported and represented and celebrated really not only just in February, but every day of the month, all days of the months, January through December and back again, especially within our community. So I think it's great that Port Wentworth is having their first Black History celebration. So I'm excited.
That's right. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And so we'll be right there emceeing. Giovanna Rogers will be there. She'll be singing songs. Also, she got 2 songs she'll be singing. Let y'all know, everyone out there from Bernard to Ellis, Reverend Betty Jones, I'm her agent. I'm her agent. So share, share, share. I'm her agent. Share the show, but I'm her agent also. So I get a percentage of that right there. Ching, 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 ching. And she will not be singing one of my favorites that I love her to sing, Zippity Doo Dah, Zippity Day. So, Giovanna Rogers, we'll do this.
No, I will not.
I
I
said
will
it. So Giovanna,
Yes.
why is theater important? Why are the arts important with regards to this performing arts? Why is it important
The
for us,
performance.
for Black people in general?
So what people have to understand is that theater was first created, or when we're going back to theater history, theater started in Africa. Because we all have to understand is that we all derive from Africa, number one. And number two, when it comes to theater and the performing arts, even though there is not much written and recorded history that we see today that Africa had theater, but even from the beginning of times, theater was used and created through rituals, celebrations of harvest in Africa, right?
Mm-hmm.
So even still, and afterwards, when it goes to Greek theater, Roman theater, theater is used as a form, was first used as a form of protest. To just conjoin it all together, it was a form of protest. It was a way for people to speak about issues that we see going on. Because when we look at things like Hamilton came out during a time where we were going through the election with Trump, and people were able to speak out about immigration and how they feel about immigration. And also, they have a line in there, and it's just the simplest line, right? But during that time in Hamilton, between Hamilton and Lafayette, they say, immigrants, we get the job done, because that was a commemoration to the immigrants that are now in the United States, because they are the reason why we have many of the buildings that we have today, many of the roads today, many of the history that we have today. And at the end of the day, people of color get the job done, because even though they say they are immigrants, we were not the first immigrants. To just say the least, we are not the first immigrants, because the Indians got their land taken away from them. And the first immigrants were actually the colonizers that came to America. So to just put that small line in there, it shows importance and commemoration to the people who put hard work into the United States that we see today. So that's why it is important, because you are able to tell your history, and you are able to tell your story without having someone else who doesn't know anything about you telling your story. And that's the most important part.
And powerful statement. I just want to grab one of my books, even though Africa Adorned, even though this is about the jewelry and the adornments, and then with regards to, but this also involves rituals involved with regards to adorning ourselves. And with that, I'll go and say this. When you said Africa, that's right. When we see people with the mask and all that, that's a part of who we are. So theater and the what we call the arts is the performing arts are part of who we are. It's not just say with regard to dancing, but it's also with regards to
Mhm.
what we are able to do with regards to not telling a story. As you said, we tell the story, not someone else. And so often we have other people telling the story about who we are and what we're about. What's your thoughts with regards to that?
It happens so much to where we just believe things offhand. And when we allow other people to tell our stories, for example, in Conrec, just go ahead and say it, Conrec the film. It's in the point of view of Conroy, that's his correct name, in his point of view. But what about the point of view of the children that he was teaching? What about the point of view of the mothers and aunties and fathers and uncles and grandmothers and grandfathers? What about their point of view? And when you do that, you may, like, most of the time you're not depicted in the right way that you feel like you should, and not many people speak out on that. So I just think that it's so important to represent our own stories, because if we're not telling our stories, then we allow anybody to say anything and everything about us. That's why we have Lynn Nottage. That's why we have Ava DuVernay. That's why we have Spike Lee telling our stories. But there should be so much more. That's the thing. I believe we don't have enough. And that just little bit gets us through the way. But what about every day? What about every year? Not just one TV show. What about all the TV shows? That's why BET was an important network that we saw, because we saw Martin, we saw Living Single, we saw 106 in Park, because we were the ones creating the music. The form of entertainment is not just football. It should be in more ways than just one. It shouldn't just be one film, one show. It should be every film. That's why representation is so important, because when you don't see enough of yourself, then you start to believe the worst things on the inside. So seeing what we see on the outside should also represent what we see in the inside. And I believe those both coincide.
All right, Javonna Rogers, and you currently attend,
I attend Georgia Southern University, the Armstrong campus in Savannah, Georgia.
and your major is.
My major is theater and my minor is Africana Studies.
Yes, 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 and to taking the journey together. Yes, we will be there performing. We'll be there performing. We'll be presenting our element of our story. Again, the African spirit will be there in Richmond Hill at the Chamber of Commerce on Friday. That's at 7 p.m. at the Chamber of Commerce. This coming Friday, we'll be there on the 17th. And again, put together by Unity in the Community, by the Butts, Sharon Butts and Craig Butts, and taking the journey together. So we'll be there taking the journey together with regards to telling a part of our story. And just like Javonna Rogers put out there, and she indicated with regards to that, that it's important for us to do that. And now I'm going to say this, other people say that it doesn't matter that I see someone on television or in film or in theater. It doesn't matter that I see other people, because I'm about the human story. That is all about human, because God loves all. God loves all of us. So it doesn't matter. So we shouldn't get concerned about that. What's your thoughts on that, Javonna Rogers?
We have white history being shown literally every day of our lives in our schools, to where we understand their history more than our own.
Mm, mm.
And most of the time, and I'm speaking specifically for the Black community, because that is the community that I can speak on the best.
Okay, okay, okay.
There should be no reason why slavery is the first thing that I learned about my
Mm.
own history in school.
Ooh, ooh, go ahead, go ahead.
There should be no reason why there is just even though the movie was great, there should be no reason why there's just a Harriet Tubman movie, a Selma movie. History that is traumatizing to our people. Though it is remembered at all times because it's important to remember where we have come from and where we have been, but it's also so important in seeing ourselves in the now. And I think that is so important because if you keep replaying that over and over again, then in our minds, that is the only way that we will see ourselves. So just saying, oh, God loves all people. Yes, God loves all people, but God also created this history and this culture of people for a reason.
Okay.
We have tribal marks on our faces for a reason. They don't tell us that in our history books. If they don't tell us that in our history books, they don't tell us that in our films. And again, let's just say, and this is a contradiction. So you can do minstrel shows on Black people and what they do, right? Because you believe that that is what we represent, but then at the same time, we are not able to represent our own stories. Because it's just like make it make sense.
Okay. Powerful statement. Powerful statement.
Because then at the end of the day, y'all created minstrel shows, but then we're not able to tell our own stories because then that would be too much. That's not fair at all because we didn't ask you to put on blackface. So now, because you have done these things, we have to create our own stories. And it's I would say it's only fair. And that's why I believe we should be the ones creating our own stories. We should be banding together creating our own stories, not just depending on them. People outside who don't know our culture and where we come from, they should not be the first ones creating our stories.
Right.
Because then at the end of the day, who are you going to clarify whether this is true or not?
Okay.
That's what I'll say about that.
And this is Giovanna Rogers. Giovanna Rogers is in theater. Giovanna Rogers has major plans. We discussed some of her major plans. Giovanna Rogers is out there putting out some powerful information. We say to y'all, share the information. And so I'm going to throw something out there, but I'm going to probably say we might need to wait because I think we may need to do the commercial. You know, I don't want to have any issue because, again, I don't want nobody to send me a message. We need to have the commercial. So, yes. All right. So, again, we will go ahead and let you go ahead, check out the commercial, come back, and the flyer overlay for the Port Wentworth event and the African Ball, because we have the African Ball also. The African Ball is going to be on the 25th of this month. It's the Grand African Ball done by, Gullah Geechee Grand African Ball. That'll be done on the 25th. It'll be at the Priscilla Thomas Annex that is connected right in back of the Civil Rights Museum. It's not the Civil Rights Museum. It's the Annex. That's where it's going to be, the Annex. Some of y'all going there for functions and for banquets and for wedding receptions and other events. So it's going to be right there in the Priscilla Thomas Annex, and that's on the 25th. That's at 7 p.m. You can go to Eventbrite and get the tickets for it. There are 3 levels of tickets. And so also you can go by 2 chefs, which is being put on by Sister Taylor and Brother Curtis Washington, the chefs of 2 chefs. It's going to be food, fun, and culture. Again, giving it to you. We're going to have the Oba from Oyotunji Village will be right there. But then also that's on the 25th. On the 18th, we have Port Wentworth with regards to their first annual event celebrating Black history. Some of y'all know about another celebration they do in Port Wentworth, but this time we're going to celebrate the people. And then on the 17th, we'll be in Richmond Hill. That's with regards to giving some of the culture and history that's down in Richmond Hill, Bryan County, Georgia. And so we now turn it over to the commercial time because I don't have no issue with the producer. Share. Run, tell that. Giovanna Rogers, special guest. We are back. Montel that is in the house. We are back. Montel that with our special guest, Giovanna Rogers in the house. Giovanna Rogers, and we're dealing with again some of our ways of communication, some of our ways for showing pride, some of our ways of showing love, some of our ways of letting people understand our humanity, because our humanity gets hit so hard. Y'all heard Giovanna Rogers go and talk about. She put out there that again, you have other stuff hitting you every day. And I tell folks, and I've shared this with some of y'all have heard me say this on other platforms and other places have heard me do presentations. I said, other people love their culture so well that you can see a cartoon, and you have a dog in the cartoon or even a cat, and the cat and the dog has an English accent. An English accent. So, do you think the dog or the cat will have an English accent? Why gotta be an English accent? But again, somebody's celebrating their culture and their story and putting it out there. So you are hearing this, you're taking it in. You see the visual, but then you also not hear it. You hear English accent that gives you the idea that that's refinement. That again, that person's on top. Again, an English accent that they're like as if they're British. Then you're gonna have aliens that come from getting aliens coming from Mars, coming from Venus, coming from other places. And guess what? They speak with a European accent, an English or British accent. So again, here go people celebrating their culture, their history, and they understand the value of that. I'm not knocking them for that, but I'm saying that's what we all must do. We all must do. We all must showcase that because again, it's tied to our humanity. Again, we say to all y'all, share. And Giovanna Rogers, again, involved in theater, involved in the arts. And so we had some people ask a question about you helping to produce. I'll let y'all know this. She's tied up with a major project. She's tied with a major project that she will have to be presenting to a group of people and the public will be invited to. She's going to provide some research on about Gullah Geechee culture with regard to how we depict it in film, how we depict it in the media. And that again, some of the things she's saying, that's what it's tied to ownership. And so that's why I want to go and throw that out there to you, Giovanna Rogers. How are Black women depicted? What's your thoughts with regard to how Black women are depicted?
There is a lot of depiction of Black women as the diva. They also play the antagonist in some movies. You see that in Conrad. You see it in Daughters of the Dust. You see, even though it is such a classic in Dreamgirls, even just thinking about it, even in Dreamgirls, we see that the curvy, thick Black woman is seen as the diva, as the one doing too much, as being heavy, you got so heavy on me. A song even being created about her in the film, where it's like, aren't we tired of that? Aren't we tired of Black women being depicted as the antagonist, being the one, being the bad mom, being the mom on drugs, being the one who doesn't support their child? And especially with Black stories, because you see that with Cheryl Lee Ralph in oh my gosh, the movie with Whoopi Goldberg, Sister Act. You see it in Sister Act. She tells her daughter not to sing, not to follow her dreams because it doesn't get her anywhere. And again, that leads to where they believe Black women should be put in. Because I believe the arts is so important, and it's about how you get yourself there and how much courage you will take trying to get there as well, to where, she doesn't support her daughter in her dreams. And she can sing. So it's just like, aren't we tired of Black women being put up as the antagonist, being put up as the one on drugs, being the one who sleeps with the white husband as well? Because that's in the one with Olivia Pope, the show with Olivia Pope.
Right. Scandal.
Even though she's such a great actress. I love seeing her on screen, but her playing that role, even though the show is great, the show is phenomenal, it's just like a strong, powerful Black woman is basically the mistress to the president of the United States. That's not something I would want my child to see,
Mm-hmm.
even though they would be young. But like growing up and just looking at it and just seeing all the roles that we play, even in The Help was a powerful, moving story. But at the same time, seeing what my aunt was on film in the movie theater, but she was more than that. She
Mm-hmm.
was more than just The Help. It got them the Oscar, which is great. But at the same time, isn't there more stories we can tell?
Okay. Okay.
We're just now getting Holly Bailey as the Little Mermaid.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, what else do we get? After that, what else do we get? So, yeah.
Yeah, and absolutely correct. And so, taking the journey together, they now also want to throw another event on the 24th of February, Wild Date Night at Carrie Hilliard's. And so, if they put it inside the comments, that they put that out there. So they want just like put all this stuff out there, but this run tell that y'all got taking the journey together. Oh my God! So again, the Little Brother show. Everybody gonna put on. Everybody gonna handle run tell that everybody. Like I said, they're gonna snatch the show. They're gonna snatch the show and give it to Giovanna. And so now, bam, they're gonna they to get the time slot. And so now taking the journey, they like we gotta put all our stuff. We gonna make run tell and tell it all. So now, Giovanna Rogers, we go to this right here. But to you, what are the things that you want to produce? What are the things you want to produce? Because I heard you say some things at times. What are the things that you want to produce? What do you want to be? Who do you want to be? Or at least not be them, but at least an equivalent with regards to that.
So overall, whenever someone asks me what I want to be, I basically tell them I want to be Tyler Perry, but better. And not but better because I think he's bad. I say but better because there's still so much more that we can do. And it's not only just to be Tyler Perry but better, but be the next Ava DuVernay, be the next Whoopi Goldberg, be the next Raven Simone, be the next Beyonce if I can be. That one is a hard one, but it's not impossible when you have the hard work and the drive, especially within the performing arts and in the entertainment industry. So I want to be able to produce stories for little Black girls and little Black boys, but also the generation that we came from. Because we know that there are so much more stories that can be told, not only just from the civil rights era, not only just from slave era, like roots, but to show, like, for example, a mother and a daughter and a father and a son, the journey that it takes for them to break out of generational curses. That would be a great thing to see.
Okay.
See more musicals about, you know, just being Black and celebrating being Black and all the struggles and where we have come from and where we are going now. And also fantasy. I don't see enough Black people in fantasy stories. Like we had John Boyega in Star Wars, but what else can we say from that? Now we have Halle Bailey, but like the representation, and it doesn't just have to be all Black. It doesn't just have to be all people of color, but there should be more of us in the mix because we find that in the industry there is small, like people of color do not take up most of the percentage in most of the front scene work and the behind the scenes work.
Okay.
And if it's a Black film, at the same time, behind the scenes, there is not enough representation behind the scenes. So.
Yes. So I'm gonna let y'all know this. Giovanna was in a movie that came out last year, the fall of last year. Giovanna was in a movie, but I'm not going to let y'all know about it because she'll get upset with me about if I share it with you all right now. But she was in a movie that came out the fall of last year. Oh, Javon. Oh, Javon. Oh. I thought I was muted. I thought I was muted. Oh.
You thought you were muted?
Yeah, I thought I was muted. I thought I was just messing around. I thought I was talking to my little cousin right over there. Oh boy.
Mhm.
Oh boy.
Mhm.
Oh.
Yes, I was in a film. I was in Halloween Ends as the waitress, and it was one of the best experiences of my life. I would not trade it for anything.
All right. Yes, indeed.
Yes. Yes.
Because she has a SAG card now. All of that. She has.
I am SAG eligible, but I will be getting my SAG card.
Okay. Yes.
Getting that SAG card is expensive at first.
Yes. So, what do you see as the role of a director? What do you see as the role of a director?
The role of a director is to help the actors put themselves in a place to where they can play the character effectively, through body language, tone, voice, and to put themselves, help them put themselves in the place of the character. Because when you're on stage, you are no longer, for example, I'm no longer Giovanna. And
Yes.
I played Paulina Sarpong in at the African Schoolgirls play last year. I could no longer put myself in the place of Giovanna because Giovanna is a nice person. Paulina is the mean girl. Giovanna speaks American. Paulina speaks in an African accent. So, as the director, is to help because at the same time, a director, yes, a director directs, but the director also gives the actor freedoms to play the character the best that they see fit. Because then at the end of the day, if I was to direct and give you every single movement, every single way to say something, then my actor would no longer be an actor, they would be a robot. That's something that you would never want an actor to be. You want them to be an actor who explores their character because at the same time, when you explore these characters, you also explore who you are. You find a piece of you within the character. So even though Paulina was a mean girl, at the same time, Paulina is a person who just wants to be seen and wants to be appreciated. And that's something that I find that I found within myself because there's always some type of connection. I wouldn't say with all characters, but with most characters, especially characters who are like the same age as you, who went through the same experiences as you. um, you put yourself aside and allow the character to be and to form.
All right. We got WSOS radio in the house. Glad to have you all here. We got glad to have you all in the house. Run, tell that. And we tell everyone share. Glad to have y'all up in the house with us. And so again, Giovanna Rogers, we got it right here. Giovanna Rogers, again, theater, arts. That's what she does. And so I'll let y'all know something too. When she talked about something, Giovanna Rogers, oh no, excuse me. We're gonna do that right. I just said this before that. When you have your interview with Queen Quet and you're talking about how the depiction of Gullah Geechee people and the work, how she goes about this, and that's why I asked the question about the director. Let me tell you, Queen Quet and I were part of a PBS special that was done, documentary series. We were on it, and so I was one of the characters in it, and I was supposed to be exercise my right to vote. Everybody in front of me could put their ballot in to vote. This is during Reconstruction, and each time the director, when they come down to my time to put my ballot in, he like cut. Then he said he want to explore this stuff. So each time I change up when it comes to me, cut.
Mhm.
I can't. You don't even get to see my hand go cut. And Queen Quentin thought it was so funny that each time we doing all these cut, I'm like, what the world? Like, so all right, okay, yeah. Oh, you gonna finally get a chance to vote, Jamal? Cut. I'm like, okay, okay. I was like, directors, they get a look. They like to play games with you too. They like to mess with you. So yeah. So every time, like I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna get this chance. Like, okay, now I'm not 8 anymore. I'm 5 right now. So cut. Like, what the world? Okay, now I'm number 3. I'm number 3. I'm like, cut. So Queen Quinn and everybody was like laughing. They said, Jamal, you never got the chance to vote, no matter where you were. And I like,
You
yeah.
know what? Sometimes you don't.
I
Sometimes you don't.
I said it was all intentional. He just wanted to terrorize me. That was it. Cut. So Giovanna Rogers, again, you talk transformation. So also that when we talk about this young lady right here, she also, some of y'all might know Stephen King novel called Carrie. And so she was Carrie. And at Carrie, what is so interesting is that Giovanna Rogers was about to fight. Her mom was about to fight me. I'm there all innocent. We ain't got to get into the story. I'm just going to put it out there. I like to do stuff like that. I like the audience to know, again, about relationship. So I'm there. Her mama and her aunt were going to jump me there. I'm there with my mask on because, we still had the COVID protocol stuff. I'm there checking out Giovanna and she's singing, and I'm cheering her on. And so her mama and aunt was going to fight me. So it's out there for the public to hear that. So when Giovanna Rogers blow up even more, they'd be like, her mama had tried to fight. Her aunt was gonna jump Jamal. Thank God her cousin had did a tour with me. So her cousin was like, chill out, y'all, chill out. He's all right. But yeah. Giovanna Rogers, what was it like when you did Carrie?
Ooh, for me to do Carrie. As we all know, Carrie is originally portrays a Caucasian woman.
Yeah.
So there's always a difficulty when playing in a point of view that is outside of what you know. Because obviously I'm a young Black woman and I really had to make it my own. And so how we did that was I'm actually wearing the same overalls that she wore because it was mine. But instead of like making straight red hair, because Carrie's known for her red hair, we actually did locks. I actually put faux locks in my head, and then the ends had red to them. And so, me and the director, I was blessed to be able to work with Tamika Jenkins before she departed with Georgia Southern, and we looked at each other and we knew that, okay, because I was like, okay, what does she want me to do to my hair? Like, is she gonna expect me to like have my hair straight? So then, when it was time to come to that moment, and I was like, okay, what if she had locks? And she was like, I was thinking the same thing. And so from then on, we already had a connection on how to make it our own because, of course, I'm not a skinny white young girl who, and so I really appreciated her taking that understanding as a Black director and me, just a young Black actress, her taking that time to make sure that at the end of the day, we are still represented. And the process of me being in Carrie was kind of a hard time. Not just as an actress, but just as a person within itself, because sometimes it's a lot to play the main character and it's a lot of pressure. And she was always there. And to have that support and have her support, it really meant a lot to me. And she left a great impression on me as an actress and what I can do.
and that's the thing. And saying to the audience again, we say share, share, share. And this is Giovanna Rogers that here that she's playing. Again, y'all know the Stephen King novel. Y'all seen the movie Carrie, and so Carrie, a Caucasian female, red hair, and so I'm when she told me like, I'm Carrie, I'm the lead in Carrie. I'm like, huh? What? For real? And so again, because again, we got these images. And so I go there and I'm sitting there again, side story, her mom and her aunt want to attack me, but it was some misunderstanding they had. I reminded them of somebody, from high school. So that they want to come at me, that's how the people from Clayco are, but I'll leave that alone.
Wow.
So
Might as well Tina Clayco representing Martha Ellen Stillwell School of the Arts.
so what happens? She comes out and she owns it. She owns that Giovanna Rogers had owned that piece. She owned that character. She had owned it, just like what you said. So now, if you're African American, you like saying, yeah, okay, that's what that's about. And just like the things that she's been talking about is again taking ownership of it and then having us infused in it. And I was like, yeah, I had to say kudos to you for that. Kudos with regard to that. It was an excellent job that you did. And so I'm like saying, yes, but that's what we got to have more of that. And people, and I tell folks that this at time, and I'm gonna get your thoughts with regard. I tell people that actors sometimes can be quite pretentious, and actors, and I should say entertainers, and they become almost like apolitical about what's going on. What's your thoughts with regards to that? Again, actors, entertainers, they're apolitical. Now we know that there are actors who do and actresses who get involved, who are out there doing, actors who are doing stuff, but they're having to have more of us. And that's why I say that's from artists, from musical artists on to performing artists to visual artists that again, who then take the attitude like, no, I have my art to do, my craft.
So putting their craft before activism?
Yes. And focus on that solely.
Activism and performing arts for me goes hand in hand, because at the end of the day, I'm putting this piece out, but this piece derives from something. And especially when it comes to Black people and people of color, what we have to understand is that when we're telling our stories, at the end of the day, it is political. Everything is political in a way, because I wrote a play about gentrification. I wrote a small play as my project for a class. And when I was thinking, my thing is I want to tell a story that I know and that I see. And one of the things that I remembered is how I grew up in Decatur, and I will always go downtown Decatur, and how now Decatur does not look the same anymore.
Okay, go ahead.
Decatur doesn't look the same anymore. My home is not my home anymore. Where my LLE laid herself to rest. God rest her soul. Where she was is no longer the same anymore. I cannot find that apartment anymore. And also with family values, and how I am blessed to grow up a different way than some of my family members, but we also have to talk about how sometimes family do not coincide with each other because of many different things, economics and things like that. And so I wanted to put all of that in my play, because these things that are real, when we are creating things, everything derives from something. So when I created my play about gentrification, this is something that I knew that was happening in my neighborhood and that is happening everywhere. So, for example, instead of putting it just in Decatur, I put notes in my play and I said, it does not have a setting because this is something that happens anywhere and everywhere at any time.
Yes.
Everything ends up being political because these are the things that we go through. It is politics and economics that drives what happens within our nation. So for them to say, "Oh, I just want to do my art,"
yes.
In a way, for me, I feel like that's selfish. And how are you going to separate politics and art?
Yes.
Because when, for example, even with a singer, when you're singing about money, where do you think that money comes from?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When you're doing a play, for example, we're doing intimate apparel at school. When you're doing a play, Esther is not as rich and doesn't have money like the like Mrs. Van Buren in the play.
Okay.
Why is that so? Why is it so
Mhm.
that Esther is going to Mrs. Van Buren and not just the black people in her neighborhood?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Why is it so that she has to go to a Jewish fabric fabric shop
Okay.
for her own fabric shop? Everything ends up being political because Esther and the people around Esther were only known for doing certain jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And those certain jobs would only have certain opportunities for them.
Yes. Yes.
So kudos
Yes.
to Nottage for that because she put out a story, even though this is a heartbreaking story. And I do recommend everyone going to see Intimate Apparel on the Armstrong campus. That I believe is happening in April. More information will be coming out about that soon. Um, but everything ends up being political. And for you not to speak out about the issues and being an activist through your art and through your work, because not everything has to be put plain
Mm-hmm.
face.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
think people who don't say, "Oh, I'm not going to put politics in this,"
Mm-hmm.
they're not
Yeah.
seeing the bigger picture.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you look at Jordan Peele and you're looking at him saying "Get Out," or when you
Mm-hmm.
look at even his movie Nope, Nope wasn't plain faced. Nope was not just straight out boom. It's this, and this. Sometimes you got to think outside of the box and think about the deeper meaning when you're putting something out.
All right. Yes, yes, indeed, yes, indeed, and we are happy to have you with us, Javonna Rogers. So there is a question we're going to ask you, and we're going to ask this question. We ask this question of everyone on Run Tell That, and we want you to get it correct. See how I'm not looking at you. I'm not looking at you, but we want you to get it correct.
Mhm.
What is the best high school in the state of Georgia? What is the best high school? Please get the answer correct.
Mm, the best high school.
Yes, it don't take a long time. It don't take a long time.
I would have to say Martha Ellen Stillwell.
Mute her! Mute her! Mute her! HVJ! See, again, you got it wrong.
Martha Ellen Stillwell School of the Arts. Stallions.
Stallions! Stallions! See that? Again, got it wrong, got it wrong. So I put something in the commentary. I put something in the commentary. It's with regards to one of our scholars at Georgia Southern University. She's run into a financial problem. Her family is not able to help support her with regards to tuition, regarding tuition. So she has a shortfall of $3,400. We have some of us already started gathering monies up for her. And so what we have done, some people have cash apped her funds. Some people sent the money via Zelle. So we're asking people, and we've been doing this on other platforms on our Black media. So then that way, to help again a scholar, African American young lady, for her to remain in school at Georgia Southern, because again, her family was not able to come through with regards to with regards to the tuition, and they went various routes. I know some of y'all might say, "What did they do?" They went various routes with regards to this. They went with regards to the loans. Could not get the loans. She had already gotten some loans, and so can I get additional loans? The GI Bill went that route also. They were like saying, "No, it got to be 100% disabled." So again, we've gone all these routes, not trying to work it out. And so that's what we asked, and we came to the community and we put it out there yesterday. Other folks in the community put it out there also, trying to help a young scholar at Georgia Southern University. And that's what we did tonight also. That's what's inside the commentary that I put up there, given the Zelle and also her Cash App. Any funds that you can do, if it's $20, if it's $10, that's what you think, anything. $10, $50, So again, if one person said, if 100 people gave 100, if 100, if 34 of us gave $100, we got it right there. 34 of us. But again, we're saying anything that you can come and throw out there, put out there, because we had Queen Quet make a donation also with regards to that for the Gullah Geechee Nation. So again, we are happy with regards to that. We're just saying more of us trying to help on our own, and that's what we do. We try to look out for ourselves, look out for one another. Can't expect other people to help you out if you're not going to help yourself out either. So again, this is part of our community. That's why I say us talking about our community. I'm talking about as an individual, but a community of people coming together, looking out for their community. And so, because y'all know it's 6:57, and at times when you know how the show just get cut off at time, it was Shavonda Rogers who did that at time, following the direction of Julius Hall, shutting down Run Tell That at 8:57. I mean at 6:57. Because again, thank you, Reverend Betty. That when you said, "Hey, no, they can't be doing that," thank you. But it's Shavonda Rogers, and I'm her agent, so I might need to talk with the bus about negotiating some type of contract, even though she got a lot on her plate. So, but again, I have to see. But first thing first, she got to take care of this because it's going to be a dynamic presentation she's going to do about culture and history and how it's depicted. So again, that's going to be April 10th. We'll share more information with y'all about that. Shavonda Rogers, we appreciate you. Any last words, parting words you want to give to the Run Tell That family? We appreciate you, the Our Black Media family. Since you're Our Black Media also.
So I would tell Run Tell That family is to encourage your children, encourage future generations to follow their dreams no matter what. And not only just encouraging them to follow their dreams, but giving them resources on how to follow their dreams. And this is not only just for the performing arts, but this is for nursing, this is for engineering, this is for art, anything they want to do, encourage them to be what they want to be. Because at the end of the day, when they follow their dreams, you're allowing them to be the creative person that they want to be, no matter what section or art or career they decide to do. So I just say encourage the future generations because they are the ones that will be leading this nation when we all go away. So.
All right. Yes, indeed. Dream the impossible dream. Zippity doo dah, zippity a.
Now you had me with Dream the Impossible Dream, but you didn't see.
We'll see you next week. Little boomer.
Like that. 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 Like that.